a Canary Islands hub, which is European. The subtitle of this website is European Business Hub in Africa. So this is just a little short article. And yeah, this one doesn't have any ads. So I'm going to share this. Actually, let me drop the link in the chat. Like I said, I'll put these in the description afterwards. I'll do it right after the stream if I have time, but I may have to do that later. Okay, yes, this is from Canary Islands, and the headline is Smart City Startups and Researchers Can Learn a Lot from an Island. We live in the society of smart watches, smart beds, smartphones, TVs, the list goes on. However, I bet you hadn't considered that cities can be smart too. Well, some of us who have been paying attention have considered this and have been paying attention to this type of thing for a long time. So a smart city implements intelligent solutions to better the way it functions and the way it interacts and engages with its citizens. We are talking about sensors, data collection, traffic flow, energy recycling, and many more characteristics that help improve how the city operates and work to constantly enhance the life of its residents, right? This is an enhancement where you are, like we were just talking about the other night in Sunday night in the Scanner Darkly stream. This is what they're talking about. That's the kind of city where everything, you are constantly tracked, traced. There's sensors and scanners everywhere. They can just, eavesdrop on your phone call and through your voice print, pull up exactly who you are, have your name, address, everything they want to know about you. That's what this is about. And that's sold as an enhancement, right? So where, they know literally everything about you. So the world is slowly but surely, or maybe not so slowly, becoming one giant city. Very interesting. According to the UN, 68% of the global population will live in cities by 2050. Imagine that, 2050. Isn't that interesting? This year that just keeps coming up. We can't escape it. This will inevitably cause, this is an inevitability. This is going, I'd say they're framing this is going to happen. There's no way to defeat this. This will inevitably cause tech startups of all sorts to direct their focus to projects that can be inserted in this worldwide trend. Now, the tech startups, as we know, how many of these come out of DARPA, right? Or get In-Q-Tel money. With In-Q-Tel, for people who don't know, is the venture fund for the CIA, which is not like that's open. That it's not like a secret type of thing that comes from, I don't know, like Tex Mars books or whatever. Which, shout out to Tex Mars, R.I.P. That wasn't a knock against him, but I'm just saying it. People might write that off as like, oh, this is just kooky nonsense. But no, it's open that In-Q-Tel is the CIA's investment firm. Their sort of venture capital fund. It says, now I don't know about you, but if I were one of these startups, I would look for a small location that can be the lab for testing value propositions and get customer feedback on all kinds of things that an island can offer better than any other place, since it's a small territory with scarce resources, sustainable tourism, climate resilience, environmental sustainability, desalination, architecture, waste management, renewable energies, and so on. The Canary Islands are a test market. That's right, consulting firms and everyone really should advise smart city entrepreneurs and startups to focus their efforts towards the Canary Islands. To round it up, the Spanish archipelago offers the lower corporate tax rate in Europe, 4%, a highly qualified workforce with over thousands of, blah, blah, blah. Now, so again, they're talking specifically about the Canary Islands. They're basically, whatever this, and I group it, I don't know if this is a government thing or a tourism website. I didn't get a chance to do too much digging into this. But it seems as if they're basically selling they're selling the Canary Islands in the sense that, you should like come here and set up your business. Tech startups, come here and, help us enslave people and track people and, invade people's lives. It's a Newsweek article. Where's the headline? Oh, investors are calling Maui wildfire victims to buy their Hawaii land. So I'm sure everybody's heard about the Maui wildfires. It's been a big hot topic that a lot of people have been discussing lately. And so, it says victims of the Maui wildfires are reportedly being contacted by investors and realtors attempting to buy their land in Hawaii amid the disaster that has destroyed parts of the island. In an Instagram video posted on Sunday, an organization focused on preserving lands and native species in Hawaii warned Maui residents of the calls by investors and realtors. The claims made on social media come as the wildfires on the Hawaiian island continue to rage, resulting in mass evacuation. So this is from what was the date on this? August 14th. So I think all the fires are out by now, as far as I know. So that's why the article's a bit dated. But as I've said before, I reject the idea of the 24-hour news cycle. But anyway, so at the time, I guess it was 96 confirmed fatalities across the island. That has probably gone up. I'm not up on the current numbers. So the person in the video said that I'm so frustrated with investors and realtors calling the families who lost their home, offering to buy their land. How dare you do that to our community right now? If you are a victim and they are calling you, please get their name, get their business name, so we can put them on blast. Video went on, said, I'm so frustrated hearing since yesterday, multiple families that I know personally were reached out and offered money from investors and realtors. Shame on you if you are a Maui realtor contributing to that. Karma's going to come and get you. It is currently unclear which investors or realtors were attempting to call Maui residents to purchase their land. Newsweek reached out for comment, and then said the video was posted by actor Jason Momoa, who's from Honolulu. So it was estimated, as of the publication of this article, that around 678 acres in size, or hang on. In the update on Sunday, officials in Maui County said that the upcountry Kula fire, which was reported on August 8th, is estimated to be around 678 acres in size, is currently 60% contained. The Lahaina fire was estimated to be 2,170 acres in size, currently 85% contained. The other one was 100% contained. So at the time of this publication, the Associated Press reported that fires in Maui have destroyed at least 2,200 structures across the island, which include many residential homes. When you kind of dig into this and see how the whole Hawaii wildfire played out, with the issues with the water, with the police reportedly turning people back into the fire, with the the sirens, like all these issues. And I don't, not to sound like a kook or anything, but it's like, what else is the explanation here? Like it just seems like, oh well, we'll burn these people out and then come in and buy it up, because trying to rebuild. And one thing I thought about earlier, and I'm not in the land buying business, but if everything is burned out, like how do you go back and tell, the property's gone because it's completely burned up. How do you go back and tell, like, oh yeah, this is specifically where my land was? Like, I don't know, maybe they have satellite data or something. I don't know how this stuff works, but I imagine there's going to be some issues there. And then, rebuilding, like the cost of rebuilding, because everything's more expensive. From what I understand, what I've been told by people who've been to Hawaii or from there, everything's more expensive there, because pretty much everything you have to get shipped in to Hawaii. And so, yeah, that's gonna be insanely expensive to try to rebuild. And so, yeah, of course, I mean, why would hedge funds, BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, right, like all these goblins, why would they not go in and buy all this? So that's really what it comes off as it's this, it's just like a giant land grab. And yeah, I don't know what else to make of that. It's kind of upsetting. I really feel for the people in Hawaii. And, I've seen a lot of people, not a lot, but I've seen some people lately who have, kind of been, I don't want to say celebrate, but I mean, Hawaii is like a deep, deep, deep blue state politically. And so I did some research on this. So in the history of Hawaii, they have only had one Republican senator. In their history, they've had 17 Democratic congressmen, 8 Republican congressmen. This is in the history of the state. There was one Independent Party of Hawaii, I think, congressman. Their current senators are both Democrats, Mazie Hirono and Brian Schatz. And their current congressmen are Ed Case and Jill Takuda, all 4 of whom are Democrats. Now, when I say Democrat, I'm just pointing that out, that because people have been saying, oh, well, they voted for Biden, they voted, 2-1 or whatever it is, for Biden, or at least for Democrats. So, well, okay, you get what you deserve, because the response to the fire has been, Biden was like, oh, no comment, and then went on vacation, and then it was like, oh, here's $700 per household. And a lot of people were offended by that, and I get it. I mean, a lot of this, people were talking about this with the Ohio train derailment, and they're like, oh, why hasn't Biden showed up? And it's like, okay, what is this guy? What is this guy who can't even form a coherent sentence, who, is just like completely gone mentally, as his mental faculties are at about a 0.5 on a scale of 1 to 10. Like, what? So what? But what's he going to go up and look at the disaster and be like, okay. Like, I don't know. That when people, I guess it's just a symbolic thing, and people like symbolic gestures where these, creeps and people who just do the bidding of Wall Street and sell out their country at every turn, that they just go to a place and just to make an appearance. I don't know. I don't really get it, but he still can sniff good. Yeah, absolutely. Those faculties are still 100%